Welcome to the Seer Show. Join us as we dive into the dynamic world of health, wellness, mindset, and fitness with the unparalleled guidance of lifelong knowledge seekers, Sifu Rafael and Nikki Gangemi. Sifu and Nikki will unlock groundbreaking insights with extraordinary guests from around the globe. You'll get the latest holistic approaches to well-being with a sharp focus on the powerful connection between mind, body, and soul. Get ready to take the leap. It's time to embrace a brighter and healthier future with us at the Seer Show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, Nikki. How are you today?
Good morning, Sifu. I am grateful this morning. How are you?
I'm exceptional. Every day, try to get a little better, just a tiny bit.
Just a little. Yes.
I'm excited for today's show. Happy, right? Living, designing joy, and building resilience. And
Yes.
I'm thrilled we have two exceptional people coming on. And we had a conversation earlier, and I want to take a moment to have everybody remember that special people in our lives come to touch us at when we least expect it. They touch us in such a powerful way, and that prayer goes out to your grandma.
Thank you, Sifu. I appreciate you.
Yeah, likewise. Let's go ahead and bring Alethea and Leanne. Hello, ladies. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Hello. Absolutely. We're excited to have you.
So
I got to
happy.
tell you, Leanne, I love your last name because it's never goodbye.
No, it is not. And Sifu, I'm going to tell you, you are actually the first person to ever say that to me. I get the hello, hello. I get all of these things that you've heard a million times. I've never heard that. That's really great.
Well,
I love it.
I love the way you're so vibrant and cheerful. And Alethea, my gosh, you two are so
you.
vibrant and beautiful. I am beyond thrilled to be able to talk about joy today with all of you. Nikki Gangemi lights me up every time we do a show. We light each other up. We actually love the opening to our theme song and so forth, and the music. We're always kind of dancing a little bit in the background. So we always consider that joy should be part of our lives. But some people forget to tell their face that, don't they?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
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 Yeah.
I think
So-
joy is necessary in life.
Tell us why. Tell us why.
Well, I like to have a distinction between happiness and joy. Joy is something that is internal regardless of your circumstances. Happy to me can be a fleeting emotion. Something can make you happy. But joy is saying that I'm going to still have a bit of upbeatness, even if I'm down, even if life isn't going my way, I can still find something that will put a smile on my face or bring me calm. That's what joy is to me. It doesn't mean that your circumstances are always favorable, but it means that I can have peace. I can be grateful. It encompasses so much in one.
Mm,
That's
beautiful. I love
beautiful.
it. Mhm.
Alethea. Thanks for sharing that.
I agree with that. And being a happiness coach for all of this time, that's the number one. And I'm so happy that you brought that up, like right out of the gate, because that's the number one thing that people will come to me and be like, well, you don't know what's going on in my life. So I can't be happy right now. There's a lot that's going on. And so, but I have heard that, my joy is internal. So I'm just going to focus on that, but I can't have anything to do with happiness. And the reason why I think focusing on our happiness is so important, the Dalai Lama, and if you guys have heard anything that I do, I quote this quote all the time because it's so powerful. He's got a quote that says, happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. So it's exactly what you're saying. It's not, I just wake up and I'm happy, but it comes from our own actions. And so that is what we have control over. And so that joy, even though I 100% agree with you, it's like eternal. It's there. Some people can't access it. And so having tangible things that you can do to find that happiness and you have complete control over makes all the difference in the world.
Oof, powerful.
I like that perspective, Leanne. I've never heard it stated as that, but it even gives me something to think more about.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I wanna ask Nikki, because she does have the calm method, and I think in order for us to delegate joy internally, need to hear what Nikki has to say.
Well, I love everything that was just said. And I do agree. I mean, and this is a perfect example. I'm not happy about the circumstance of my grandmother passing last night. I felt joy this morning coming on because I knew we'd be in this 45-minute container and talk about things that are really meaningful and matter. So I was still able to connect and tap into the joy that is internal. It's natural. It's something that we're born with. So that's, and I think, not to repeat, but I think happiness, it can be momentary and fleeting and based on circumstance. And we can still choose happiness regardless of the circumstances.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt. I wanna piggyback on what you just said. And I want you to think about your grandmother for a second and the joy. Tell us about a moment that you can think about how she brought joy, not only to you, but everyone in the family. And I don't want to, I'm not saying this to make you tear up, because your tears, I know, are of joy, right? Because you'll miss her, but you will remember the beauty that she brought with her. Would you mind sharing a joyous moment?
Absolutely. Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind, and it's not a specific moment. She was 99 years old. She was going to turn 100 on March 4th.
Wow.
She was almost there. And she always maintained that silliness, that lighthearted girl, like she'd always, she liked to joke and she liked to be silly. And I just really appreciated that about her. And that's something that I want to keep with me. Always have that childlike, curiosity and wonder, and be able to maintain a sense of humor no matter what, and she had a hard life, but that didn't stop her from keeping that childlike wonder.
Yeah. And God, you were blessed that she was around for so long. But even 99, I still think is short lived, because I'm sure she could have brought more joy along the way. It reminds me of two people that touched my life. One was my brother. He died at 42, and can I tell you, I still laugh when I think of him. He was so funny. He brought joy, and he was just so charismatic. And then another one was a 7-year-old who died. I was one of the last people that saw him. He took one of my classes, and then he died on the way home. But this kid went through so many surgeries before he got to me. Brain operations, all kinds of different things. And the funniest, most challenging kid you can meet. He was bright. He knew every capital in the US, everyone at 7 years old. He wanted knowledge. He was funny. one time, and the kids are sparring at 7 years. I start them at 3.5. They start learning to fight. They put gloves on. They go for it, right? In a safe way, of course. But this kid was full gear on, and he tells, and I don't want to be crude here, but he tells the other kids, "Go ahead, kick me in the groin." And he is so funny that he was like, "Let's go." And he's 7 years old, full of life. Unfortunately, he passed away, but he brought such joy that kid will always remind me that no matter what you go through in life, it's a choice. It's a choice. I know people who have great lives and are miserable.
Mhm. Oh,
And
yeah.
but they don't choose joy.
And
Joy is a choice.
yeah. And Sifu, if I can just hop in here with you giving that story about that vibrant kid who was probably hysterical and everything else, but just like a boy wonder, in hearing Nikki speak about her grandma having that childlike part of her, I think that's so important. And it goes back even to you, Sifu. Anyone who knows you well knows that you're all about tapping into that kid inside of us. And I think
Yeah.
that when we tap into that childlike part of us, because as kids, oftentimes, many kids don't have a care in the world. It's just all about, okay, maybe I have to go to school. Maybe I don't care for that too much, but I have my friends there, or it's just a different frame of mind. And I think keeping that childlike innocence and that childlike or free spirit, even through adulthood, can help people make it through each day to find a piece of happiness. I know it's helped me over the years to still do that. I'm a big kid at heart. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm a grown up in a grown up body. But at the end of the day, anyone who knows me well knows I'm a jokester. I'm a clown. I like to have fun. I
oh,
don't think or feel like I'm the age I am. It's still that childlike happiness. And if people can tap into that, oh, what a difference
mm,
it would be in the world.
it is. It is. I'm a Toys R Us kid. I got to tell you.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just gonna just piggyback on that. I think there's a distinction between being, and I just heard this and I thought this is why we all need to tap into the childlikeness of us. There's a difference between childlike and immature. And so if you're in the business world, you're like, well, no, I can't be childlike because I'm a business person. I run this business. I do these things. But childlike is very different. And you can actually use that to propel your business. Immaturity, you're not going to last long. So that distinction, if we can just get that out into the world, people will tap into what you guys are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's a choice, right?
Yeah.
How do you make a choice when, look, Nikki, it's incredible that I did not get a text message from you saying I can't. You chose happiness. You chose to celebrate your grandma. And thank you for sharing her with us so we can celebrate her as well.
Thank you for giving me this space and grace. I appreciate you all.
We have to remember that, and like I talked about this child, 7 years old, and the joy he brought to everyone who ever met him. Oh my gosh, this kid had like patches of hair missing and stuff, but he was beautiful. He was absolutely adorable, funny, witty. And when I said he knew every capital of every state, my God. And he can turn the globe and tell you, but it became where it wasn't just the capital of the US, it was worldwide.
Wow.
He wanted to know, he wanted to go to all these places. And I'm sure he did. But we can make a choice every day how we live our lives and lead our lives. This morning, I made a choice. Every morning when I wake up, the first thing, when I go from the sleep state to the wake state, first thing is I pray. There's no ifs and no buts. Second thing, I thank God for all the gifts he's given me. Third thing I do is I ask him to give me the grace to be able to share the gifts he's given me with others. And then I ask him for a download.
Mm-hmm.
I ask him to guide me in my actions for today so that I can be a better person, so I can get that little bit better. Because through him and through you, everyone listening to the three of you, I can shine the light that he's given me to you. And you can shine your light he's given you to me. So every day I do that but I also do it at night right before I go to sleep. Sometimes in the middle of the day, right? You can choose whatever happens to you,
Mm-hmm.
how you react.
Yeah.
Every day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the
Indeed.
show. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
And I would dare say that making that choice is not always easy. It's a battle. It can be a really internal battle. I can't speak for everyone else's experience, but I know that, sometimes a person will walk into our lives at a specific time and only see where we are now, but don't know the cost, the sacrifice, what it took to get us to the place that we are now. And I know for a fact that choosing to be happy and choosing to put one foot in front of the other took work and practice, and it's not always easy peasy. And there has just been something in me consistently that has developed over the years where I say I can either wallow in my misery and sufferings, or I can learn how to take what's going well in life and use that as the fuel to keep going. And sometimes that can be painful as you're doing it, but you got to just do it. And I know it can sound easier said than done, but it's a push. It's a constant push. But I know that I'm worth it. And I know that the others out here who I serve or who love me or pour into me, there are a lot of people cheering us on that we don't even know about. So it's about not only getting ourselves to a place of that contentment and saying, I'm going to choose, but it's also all of the other people that really want you to win.
Yeah.
Even when it seems like nobody does.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, things are not always as they seem. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Nikki, when you go through your day today,
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be moments where you're going to feel sadness come on. But my recommendation is to tap into the joy. Tap into the joy that your grandma. I'm going to ask you what her name is.
Is, yeah. Her name is Edith.
Edith. Beautiful.
And her friends called her Edie.
Nice.
Yeah, she was born in 1925, so she has that older name.
It's she was born the same day not day, but the same year my father was.
Oh, wow.
My dad passed when he was 91.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah. But here's the crazy thing. Like your grandma, he was healthy. 2 weeks before he passed, he was riding his bike. He was running around. I got to tell you, I don't know how my dad did it, but his wife is younger than me.
Wow. Wow.
Really?
younger than me. And this woman loved my dad.
Mm.
It was, I think, his third marriage, but she loved him. And she, let's put it to you this way. The love that this woman showed for my dad was so incredible. He retired and went back to Colombia. I'm Colombian, obviously, so is he. So he, my whole family said, we don't want any of his money. We're going to let her have it
Wow.
because she took such good care of him. And so he had built this beautiful house there. And we said, that's yours. Keep it. She's like, what? No, no. I'm like, we're like, it's yours. You deserve it. Right.
It's
Because
beautiful.
he was so loved with her. And my sisters still talk to her today.
Wow.
He died several years back, right? It's probably 10 years ago. And my sisters are still in touch with her. They still call and they still talk to her in Colombia. He's become part of the family, right?
It's beautiful.
But when we can have the joy to remember someone, right? It's that moment when we wanna grieve. But me personally, I'm not telling you how to grieve because we all have different levels. I grieve through joy. My mom passed away a day before her birthday.
Mm.
My sister passed away this year, and I didn't cry. I smiled. It's not because I don't have a heart. I have the biggest heart you can ever find,
Mm.
but because it was the joy that I remembered that they brought, and we all come into this world to serve a purpose, and we sometimes don't know that purpose till after we're gone.
Yeah.
But if we can find a purpose while we're here, make sure we fulfill it.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Mm.
Sifu, I'm just curious about that. Is that you find, and tell me if I'm misquoting you, but you said that you find joy as you grieve. What does that look like?
Great question.
Mhm.
It I constantly think about how fun they were.
Mhm.
Mm.
I think about the conversations we had. I think about the moments when they brought joy, not just to me, but when I observed them bringing joy to others. And I was very fortunate. My brother had this blood disease. He had 2 weeks to live. I was able to see him the last week before he passed. He was 42.
Wow.
And I got to see him, and he told me that he loved me.
Mhm.
Oh,
That was joy.
yeah.
And even though he's dying, he was still
Mhm.
being funny. He was still being funny.
Mhm.
And I got to spend a week with my mom before she passed. So I had a feeling. I went to Florida. She was living with my sister. I went there. I spent a whole week with her. And those moments is what I cherish because my mom at this point had dementia, and she would just look at me and the biggest smile would come on her face, and she would tell me she loved me, and she would want hugs. And she passed after I left the week after. And so for me to mourn differently would not, this is my version, okay,
Mhm.
would not honor them because they would not want me to be sad for them. They would want me to remember the joy they brought into my life. And I'm not telling everyone to grieve my way. This is how I've learned to grieve because I've lost too many people in my life.
Right.
And when I was little and I had to go to funerals and see somebody who I knew who was vibrant and see them cold in a casket, I said, that's not them. That's not
Mhm.
who that I remember.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't grieve that way. I will miss them forever. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They touched my heart. That's how I grieve. Thank you
Mm.
for asking.
Of course, because for me, it just sparked a lot of different thoughts. I too have experienced a lot of grief and loss, but what's interesting is that I can see that joy piece coming with the people I was close with. I've also had to grieve two people that come to mind that I had complicated, not so great relationships with in
Mm,
life. And one was an aunt, and then the other was a former supervisor. But the piece that I got from it was that prior to their deaths, even before we had an inkling they were going to pass away, with the supervisor, it was sudden. And then with my aunt, she had an illness, but years prior, I guess the joy piece I got from it was that I was able to forgive them
mm,
as they were still alive, and to actually not necessarily reconcile in terms of having a bond, but at least speaking with them, expressing how I felt, and making peace with it on both ends about this is what happened, this is how I felt. That's what felt good about it, because when they died, both of those deaths were sudden
mm,
in a sense. So that was the peace I had. And I guess the joy part of it was, wow, I already forgave them prior to them transitioning. So
mm,
that's why I asked you that, like, wow, I never considered the joy factor that can come even in grief. But it actually does come if we challenge ourselves to really think about it.
mhm.
Mm,
Think of it this way.
wow.
If you are religious and you believe in God, he died at 33, 34. I
33.
wasn't there, so I don't know.
Mhm.
But we're not supposed to mourn his death. We're supposed to mourn his resurrection when he was reborn 3 days later. So if you believe in God, then you believe that when we pass, we're going to a better place. So there's joy in that. Right? And I'm not trying to get super religious here. I
Mhm.
do, obviously, I pray every morning and every night, and sometimes in the middle of the day. But it it's so different for everyone that if someone turned around and said to you when someone else passes away, I know how you feel. I personally would like to tackle them and beat them up
Uh-huh.
because that's not
You
true.
don't
You
know.
could never know how someone else feels because you don't know the mystery
Mhm.
that the connection was.
Right.
I was young. I was maybe 17, 18, and I had a girlfriend maybe 2 months, and I didn't hear from her.
Mm.
What's going on? And I get a call from her sister. She passed.
Mm.
I didn't know it, but she overdosed. I didn't know she did drugs. And her sister said she spoke so much of you, even though we never met. She spoke joy. Her So I brought joy to her sister because she remembered how her sister felt about me. I went to her funeral. I didn't really know her 2-3 months, but her sister needed someone. She didn't know me from anything. And for that one day, I was there for her. I went to the funeral parlor, went to the burial. Afterwards, a sister said to me, "What are you doing the rest of the day?" I said, "Nothing." She goes, "Would you spend it with me?" I said, "Absolutely." And I did. And all we talked about was her sister and how beautiful she was. And she just wanted me to tell her my memories of her. And I was able to tell her how incredible she was. I never saw the negativity. I didn't see the drug part. So I was able to give her that joy.
That's beautiful.
Because I did see her crying during the funeral and so forth. But when we were together alone, at first I was like, this is a little odd, right?
Yeah.
But then when we started talking and I can see joy in her, I was like, we even had dinner that night. I literally spent a whole day from morning till night.
Nice.
Till I wished her well.
That's amazing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But why are we here if it's not to help one another, to give a gift to someone? I was 18. Yeah, actually, I was 18. But at that point, who does that at 18? It's a calling that I've been given from when I was a child, that I need to help other people so that they can shine. So I gave that peace to her, the joy that I didn't know I was doing it, right? I just did it because it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, it was
And
natural.
you didn't talk yourself out of it. Talking yourself out of it, I think, is where we get all the problem. A lot of us have that download of, I'm going to smile at that person, or I'm going to go and just connect with that person. And then our rational mind is like, oh, but they're a stranger. Oh, but that will be, like you said, that will be weird. And so you don't do it, but you didn't talk yourself out of it. Sifu, that's beautiful.
Well, listen, when you come across a person, you don't know what they're going through. You can come across a person and you don't know, maybe they lost somebody this week. Right?
This morning, yeah.
They may be miserable because they're so angry. And they don't know how to express that anger. So they take it out on other people. And yet we can come across and take the anger personally. Listen, I take nothing personally. I really don't. Somebody can curse me out. I'm like, wow, you look like you're having a rough day. How can I help? Right? So,
it took years to get me there, Sifu. It
I've
did.
been there forever.
But I feel you on that. No, so I will be so transparent. It took years. It took years for me to get there. I think I've mastered it, but I will say that gently, because what we put out there sometimes comes back to us. Exactly, Leanne. Exactly. But I get it, and I do understand how people can take things personally. Like what did I do? And it's not even necessarily that, but piggybacking off of what Leanne and you said, it's that power of human connection that got you to say, look, I'm going to spend this day with her. I can be joy in her life, even if you didn't think about it then. But it's just the power of human connection. Is everybody goes through something and we never know. And it's so interesting how I'll just use me as an example. I can make an assumption about someone based off of how they respond or react. But who knows what happened just 10 minutes before, or that morning of, or what they have to go through behind closed doors. We might think we know someone, and we really don't unless we walked in their shoes. And of course, we only have our own experience. So it even begs the question, do we really know people that we even know? And that's why I think grace is so important for me to extend grace. And even with that extension of grace, a person might recognize it, and that could even spark joy to come in their life that, wow, someone was kind to me, even if I was a jerk to them. That's another level.
Yeah.
Another level. Yes.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let me ask everybody, has anybody ever given you the finger?
Yes.
Maybe you're driving and you don't even know the person, and they cut you off, they give you the finger.
Mhm.
When I was younger and dumb, I might give him the finger back. But then I said, wait a minute. I was still young, and I said, wow, it's perception. What they're really saying is I'm number one. They only give me one finger, right?
Oh.
I
I'm
love
number
that.
one. Thank you. Whoop, whoop.
I
Thank
love
you. Thank
it.
you. I appreciate you. I'll give him a thumbs up. Yeah, thank you. But it's how we perceive things in life. And like I said, when I was younger, I may have taken things personally. I no longer take them personally. Listen, if I am not your cup of tea, I'm okay with that. Maybe you like coffee instead. I don't know.
That's right.
And I'm cool with that, because guess what? The most important person that loves me is the one that looks at me in the mirror every day.
That's right, Sifu.
Every day.
Mhm.
Every day. And everybody else, I know God loves me, right? And that's all that really matters. Everybody else who loves me, it's a bonus. But if you don't love me, or even if you don't like me, or even if you use the word hate when you think of me, that's on you.
That's right.
That's on you.
Yes,
It's not on
sir.
me. And I will not let it fall on me, because then all of a sudden, what am I losing?
Mhm.
Yep.
I'm losing my joy. That's not going to happen.
Exactly.
Mm.
Yeah. I would love to hear, we're talking about joy. I would love to hear about Leanne's happy framework.
Oh,
Yeah, let's
yes.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Nikki. It was so interesting to have this conversation without talking about it first, because then as you guys were talking, it's kind of solidifying, like, yeah, I know it works, but I was like, oh my gosh, there's the H piece. Oh my gosh, there's the A piece. So all that the happy framework is like I said in the beginning, we've got to take action in order to have those moments. And the more moments that we can create in our life, the happier our life is. It just is the way that it is. And so the happy framework is just a 5-letter acronym, H.A.P.P.Y, 5 areas that we have 100% control over in how we take action in that. So H is for health. So that's not how your health is today, because a lot of us could be sick or be even diagnosed with something terminal. But what did we do for our health, whether that's mental or physical? Even if it's as simple as I had 1 glass of water, but normally I don't drink any water. So I'm going to celebrate that. And that was great. And in that moment, you're happy that you did that. A is for affection for yourself. So Sifu was talking about how we need to love ourselves. And a lot of people will be like, okay, I have to be in the mirror and saying, I love you, and build that relationship. But if you have ever been in a relationship with somebody that is a narcissist or somebody that is abusive, they can tell you, I love you all day long. But if they don't show you that they love you, then you don't feel it. And so we can say, I love you, Leanne. I love you, Leanne. And then I can in turn say, boy, that was stupid. You're such an idiot. And talk to me rudely. I'm not going to believe that I love myself. And so affection for yourself is, how do you show yourself that you love yourself? P is for purpose. We've talked about that all day today. It's being in somebody else's life and how you're making them feel, or what your bigger purpose is. And your bigger purpose is usually never making $1 million or any of those big things. It's in your connection, which then goes to the next P, which is partnerships. And so that is right now, we're all in partnership with each other, the four of us, but also with everybody that's watching this live or in the replay. When you're going on a walk and you're just passing somebody by, that's a moment to be in partnership with that person, that you can just simply make eye contact and smile. And you may be the only person in that person's life that saw them that day. And then why is youthfulness. We talked about that a lot in this show, about childlike. Nikki said about curiosity. And those are all things that we can bring to our business and to our personal life. So it's pretty simple. And it's easy to remember. And so if we can remember that, then we can find all those little moments all throughout the day.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Leanne. I like that a lot. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So everybody be happy.
Right.
Right.
Truly.
Yes.
H.A.P.P.Y.
And it's an action. That's what I took. One of the things I took from your framework is that it is an action. It is something that you do, who you be, and how you operate.
Yep. Yep. And this morning was a perfect example. Yesterday, we had a Christmas luncheon kind of thing. I ate things that I am not used to. And so this morning, I literally felt like I had a hangover and I didn't have one alcoholic drink. But I had a lot of sugar alcohol. And so I woke up not feeling great. And I was like, how do I want to feel on this show? And so within an hour of waking up and being with you guys, I went and just did a quick 20-minute walk. I had a quick couple cups of water. While I was on the walk, I talked to myself really kindly and sounded maybe weird. I connected with people on the walk. Like I did all of those little things. And so within just a short hour, I came here and I was a very different person than if I would have just rolled out of bed and shown up for you guys. So it's magical.
You would have been like, I'm here.
Yeah, no, like, let's be happy. Truly.
And it goes
on?
back to choice. It goes back to choice.
Amen.
Leanne, you chose to take those steps. And as Nikki has said, actions. You chose to take those actions because you wanted to be in a different place. And I think that's a practical example. Wow. That's a practical example that a person can use, that even if they aren't feeling their best, you can still choose deliberate actions to change it and to shift your entire life.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love what you said, Leanne, about smiling. And even though you had these conversations with yourself in your walk, you lit other people up, right? In a positive way. And you never know what your smile can do for someone.
Amen.
I had someone tell me that someone approached them and said, you know, I was going to commit the ultimate sin, which was to kill themselves. And that smile, the hello, changed it for them, because they realized that even though they were so down, that someone noticed them. And that's what you were talking about, being noticed. If somebody gives you the finger, they're noticing you, right?
That's true.
You can take it the negative way, or you can go, wow, you noticed me. I'm number one. Right?
I love you.
Oh my God, I love that. I'm going to forever remember that, Sifu.
You should, because listen.
I'm going to celebrate. He noticed me, or she noticed
right.
me.
Give him a thumbs up. Give him the positive finger, right?
Sure, will.
Right?
Yes.
And when we can understand that life is so short, and when I talked about Edie, and how short her life is at 99.999999 years old, that she still had more to give. But the joy is that now, if I believe in God, she's now in a better place. Right? 100%. She's at a better place. So we have to remember that we can shine our light on someone else with a smile. with a nod. How you doing, right?
Mhm.
You could, if you're from New York, how you doing, right? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how you say it, right? How you doing? How y'all doing, right? It doesn't matter how you do it. But it's you come up to a cashier and you can tell that they're miserable because the previous person was rude to them, and then you come along and they look so mad, and you're like, oh, I better not say anything. They're gonna be mad at me, and you still share that.
Mhm.
I know today can be a brighter day.
That's
Show me
right.
that smile you have, right? It's the little tiniest things that we can do to somebody to liven them up, to cheer them up. It's our duty, I believe, to do it. And I have to tell you, I am thrilled that you all came here today, and our time is up, and I've spoken so much, and I need to have you on again, right, Nikki?
Yes, we do, both of you. We'll make it happen.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Let's make it happen. Here's the deal. I want to give you 30 to 45 seconds. Tell us about your business and how people can reach you. Why don't we go ahead and let Alethea, you go first. And
Thank
your
you.
website is across.
Yes. So I put my link tree there because it has all of my links, even to my podcast. I will talk about that. I am Alethea Felton. I am a professional speaker. I am a holistic transformational coach, and I am a podcaster, host of the top 5% show, The Power Transformation Podcast, on all audio platforms, soon to be also on video. But I help leaders, entrepreneurs, those who are in leadership roles, leading teams. I help them master resilience, that bounce back factor, and so that they can then transform setbacks into unstoppable breakthroughs. The whole point is that we all go through something and experience something. And even the most seasoned entrepreneurs and leaders might look and appear as if they have it all together, but we don't really know what happens behind closed doors, where they might be stuck, not sure which way to go in their personal life or in their careers, and they need that extra boost to get them there. That's where I step in. I am the founder of Alethea Felton Coaching LLC, and the soon to be launched Resilient Leaders Alliance. So stay tuned for all of that. And in 2025, I will have at least 3 books published and just a lot of great things happening. So stay tuned.
Wow, excited for you.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Leanne, you're up.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Congratulations. I'm so
Thank
excited
you.
for 2025 for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, I'm a happiness coach. And I did the same thing. So my link, hellohappiness.ca, will take you to a link tree with everything. So my podcast, I have the Friendly Show. We do something similar to here, but I don't have people come on. They're just in the comments, but I pop them up and they're part of the conversation. I'm a firm believer that we all need to be having different conversations, and we need to be in connection with people. And so through my happiness coaching, I really like doing masterminds and book clubs, and makes us talk and think differently. And I just want to, you can go through all of the things in that link tree, but I want to personally invite you guys. I'm doing it's called the Happy Holiday challenge. And I want to invite you guys there. Every single day, I'm dropping a video of just something that's very simple for us to take action on those happy pillars. And we're halfway through the month. So some people may say, well, I don't want to pay for half the month. And I totally get it. And so if you're listening to this, if you use a coupon code Seer Show, SEERSHOW, all caps, you'll get half off. So I don't want anything to stand in your way. And even at that, it's $11 American. So I want you to come and join us and be a part of it, because happiness really is something simple if we start making it a focus. And I want you to make that focus, hopefully, for 2025. So Sifu and Nikki and Alethea, thank you so much for letting me join in on this conversation, because it was amazing.
Thank you as well. It's been an honor.
I'm going to give everybody a little bit of advice. Don't sign up for that month. Sign up for 2.
Thank you, Sifu. Thank you.
All right. Do it. It's worth it.
So
and
good.
Nikki, my friend, You're up.
Thank you. Thank you. I've so enjoyed this conversation, and I'm so grateful to have a bit of joy today, especially. My name is Nikki Gangemi, the owner of Mindful Matters LLC. And I help people to make peace with their past and to put down the crap sack that you might have been carrying around for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. I know my grandmother carried around a lot for the 99 years, and there was some regrets at the end. So it doesn't have to be that way. We can learn how to release, how to let go, and how to step into that continually, that next best version of yourself. And that's what I help people to do.
Yeah,
Thank
beautiful,
you.
beautiful. Thank you. I want to give a shout out to everybody who's joined us: Andre, Anthony, Mandy, Imtiaz, and Joey, and Jose from Connected Leaders Academy. I am Sifu Rafael. I got to tell you, I am beyond thrilled to have all of you beautiful ladies joining us. And I am a public speaker. I'm a communications expert. I help people clearly communicate at a higher level. And of course, I have an actual in-space facility where people can come and do courses and actions and workshops. And when I say actions, they actually go through learning how to communicate at a very high level. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in, whether you're in the food industry, business, communication. And when I talk about communication, I just had a conversation with somebody who said, I've done communication my whole life, and I am so thrilled that I found your courses because they leveled me up at a higher level. Every day you have a choice. Thank you for choosing to watch us today, the Seer Show. By the way, I'm almost a little bit late. I have another show, coaching call, in about 8 minutes. I hope you'll join me there. I got to jump on. I got another incredible person, Donna from the Connected Leaders Academy, will be on with me in a few minutes. Everybody, have an incredible and blessed day. Nikki, prayers, love and joy to you, my friend.
Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you.
Love you.
Thank you. Love you all.
Everybody.
Love you all. Have a fabulous day.